Russ. I'm on the Rad Rover 5. I'm on my way back from Bussy Woods. And so I kind of thought, I'm actually not that far from the Chinese restaurant. Yeah, from the Chinese carryout. And I've done a pickup at the Chinese carryout once before with my e-bike. That was last year. Yeah, I kind of thought about it. I says, heading back from Bussy Woods, the Chinese carryout isn't actually that far away. So I contacted my wife and said, do you want something from the Chinese carryout? And she said, sure. So I'm gonna go there and pick it up and bring it home. Now the last time I did this, I had a bag to kind of put the food in, kind of keep it warm. So it's a little chilly out right now. It's pretty windy. I think by the time I get home, this food's gonna be kind of cold because I don't have a bag. So I'm just gonna stick it in the front basket, hope that everything fits in there. And so they told me 10 to 15 minutes. Based on when I placed the order, it should be about that time by the time I get there. Give or take. I've ordered from this place many times, so they know me, but the last time I chained up my bike, I do have my Ebikes bike lock with me. It's sitting right here in the front basket. I think if I simply locked up my front tire to the bike, that would make it hard for someone to just pick up the bike and run off with it, because this bike is probably about 110 pounds. I don't think you can lift it and run too well. And of course, if I lock up the front wheel, they can't ride it off either. So I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay with it. All right, so we've missed the light, which means the only thing we can do is ride across this section here, facing this direction. Would have liked to have crossed over there. I could cross, because there's no cars there, but hey, that would be crossing a red light, and we're not going to do that. So I think all we can do is just wait for the light to turn green, and I don't know if it will because there's no cars on any direction. Oh look, it didn't turn, but it turned green this way. So ultimately, we can still cross the way I wanted to. Better for me to be on this side when I get ready to cross. And we'll hit the button, which turns on the crosswalk. I mentioned before, I was standing here waiting to cross, and then some guy was really upset. He said that I was eating up all of the road, that he couldn't get past me because my bike was like a semi-truck. I tell you, they're grumpy people all over the world, huh? Yeah, they got to make other people's lives miserable. I would have been happy to move out of his way if he just said, hey, I can't get past you. That's another story, but you get grumpy people. So anyways, if you watched the video before this one, we had the lady who said that I was not allowed on Bussy Woods because it was a motorized vehicles, and motorized vehicles are not allowed on the path. Well, let me say this, she is 100% wrong. If that's the case, all of the e-bikes that go to Bussy Woods, because I've seen more e-bikes on Bussy Woods than anywhere else, they're all in violation then, right? I don't think so. A motorized vehicle, when they mention motorized vehicle, they're talking about like a motorcycle, a scooter with a motor on it. I don't, like a Vespa, that kind of thing. That's what they're talking about. Wow, this guy's making a U-turn right here. That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about e-bikes. And quite frankly, she was moving faster than I was. So I followed her along. stayed on her tail, make her feel a little uncomfortable. But yeah, there's people who do not like e-bikes, don't want to share the path with you because they consider you a motorized vehicle, but by the letter of the law here in Illinois, e-bikes are not considered motorized vehicles, they're considered bicycles with motors on them. So yeah, we can go on any area that a bicycle is allowed. She just doesn't know that. So ignorance on their part makes it unpleasant for those of us who own e-bikes. In time, people will learn that the e-bikes are allowed. But there are areas in the US that will not allow the e-bike. So you need to be aware of that. So you got to find out which area you're in, whether that'll be a problem for you or not. So we are on the road with the cars here, because technically we are not supposed to be riding on the sidewalks, although I know a number of people do ride on the sidewalks here because this is not the safest road to be on. But I will stay on the road with the cars today in this area. The Chinese restaurant is not that far from here. Based on my timing, I think I should be getting there just around the time that they finish making the food, according to the guy when I placed the order. So I just pulled off at Bussy Woods, made a quick phone call when I thought that, you know, I'm at an area where if I continue riding from this point, it'll be about 10 to 15 minutes. Then I placed the order just to make sure that it's not just hanging around waiting for me to get there. So typically on roads like this, they're supposed to give you some space, but not every car will give you the space, unfortunately. They'll squeeze you over to the curb. But as you notice, some of them have given me space, some of them have not. So you do need to be aware that it is not always the safest to ride on the street. And this is why I always have a headlight on. I always have blinking tail lights on. I want that visibility. And it's pretty windy. Alright, if I'm not mistaken, it's at this stoplight that we're coming up to where the Chinese restaurant's at. So they're on the left-hand side, so I've got to move across. But really the best thing for me to do is to be on the left turn lane. This is where that left mirror would come in handy, or the right-hand mirror, because then I could see who's behind me on the right-hand side as I'm in the left turn lane. But I have the Rad Rover, I only have one mirror. We do have the turn signal. Hopefully it stays there for me. I'm signaling. I'm moving. All right, folks, we've made it. All right, so what I'm going to try to do is lock my bike up. And this is what I did last time. I'll have to go to regular microphone here because I'm gonna have to disconnect everything to get in here. All right, so I'm gonna disconnect my audio and stuff. All right, so my audio is going down. My bike is going off. The Ebikes bike lock. Now people can steal what they want off of this bike. Technically, there's a battery sitting back there. But I don't think these guys would appreciate it if I drag the bike in. So because of that, we will lock it up. I've not used the Ebikes bike lock for this type of purpose before, picking up something, but I will today. So you get to see how this works. So I'm going to stick this through the frame, lock it up. I'm not going to pull everything out of this bike. It's just too much stuff. So we will take our chances here. Let's pull this up a little bit here. Which we can't because we're locked up. Good, okay, well we'll leave it. Hi. Yeah, it's a pickup. Yep, that's me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Two large, two orders of fried potatoes, one large chicken, large veggie barrett, large chicken bone, large veggie bone, large mushroom barrett, large.
Okay, so that was relatively easy. A little bit tight, but it's in. I'd say the ATIS makes it a lot easier to deal with than the big kryptonite chain. How you doing? All right. Let's stop for a second here.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto